Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sip and Paint. We are here. I'm a guest today, so I'm not actually on the team, but we're here to chat and do some painting. And so before we get started, I just wanted to take a second to go over mandated reporting. So as we know, this is a safe space and a space that we want you to share and be creative as we're painting today. However, if there is something that you share on here that's harmful to yourself or to others, we do have to report that as we are all mandated reporters. So just keep that in mind, but have fun today. I'm really excited to be back as a guest appearance and get to paint and sip. So yay, here we go.
Thank you, special guest Stephanie, for joining us. We are excited to have you too. And I am super excited about today's session. As Miss Stephanie said, today's our sip and paint / girl talk session. So I'm excited about that. So I'm gonna get into what we're gonna do. First, I'm gonna share my screen for a second to let you know what we're going to paint. We're gonna do like an abstract circle art, and you're gonna need to get some materials in just a moment, but I'm gonna share my screen first so I can show you an example of what I mean by abstract circle art. Okay. All right, can everyone see this? Okay, so this is an example that I found of an abstract circle art that we're gonna create. It doesn't have to, of course, look exactly like this. This is your own artwork. You are Michelangelo or whoever else, Picasso and all of them that paint. You're that person today. So I'm gonna stop share real quick. So in order to complete this task, I hope you all have your sip and paint kits that we delivered to you. In those, we had our canvas. We had several different paints for you to be able to use. I see Ra has hers. We've got paint brushes, and of course we have the thing that we can sip. We have our juices for us to sip so we can sip and paint. So what else you're gonna need for this one, I'm gonna give you a moment to go and get these things, is circle item. I've got a few here just to give you an example. I've got a pot top lid for a big circle. I've got a Beyonce CD for a smaller size circle. I've got a glass cup because it has kind of a larger circle and a bottom circle here on it. And I think I also have a coaster because I'm not sure what size circles I want to use or how many circles I'm going to make. So I have a variety of circles here. So I'm going to give you a few moments to go and get those things. Also, just in case, I have a glass of water here to clean my brushes in case I want to use them in different colors, and also paper towels to clean them out. So if you don't have those things and you feel like you need them, grab them. So we'll take a break for just a moment, go grab those things and type done in the chat box or mute yourself and tell me that you're done or that you're back so that we can go ahead and get started with the next part. All right, go ahead.
Boss, do we need a pencil to like sketch our circles on our canvases?
Yes, I was gonna wait for everyone to get back because I realized I forgot that. So a pencil, a marker, a pen. I'm gonna use a black marker to get some black color onto mine. So a pen, pencil, marker, or something to trace your circles with is gonna be really helpful.
Done and back.
All right, so since the girls are back, oh, Miss Crystal just gave us permission to go ahead. So, also yesterday we had such a great time doing our girl talk session. So we're going to continue that, and we have a few more questions that we're going to ask, so we can just get to talking and chatting while we create our masterpieces. So we're just going to ask a few questions. I'm gonna pull those questions up and I'm gonna ask them as well as put them in the chat box for you to see. Remember, this is being recorded. Also, as another reminder, we are mandated reporters. So be mindful of the things that you tell us. And we can go ahead and get started with that. You all can start creating and tracing your circles and just listen up for any questions. And also, if you have any questions outside of the ones that we're asking that you would like to ask, that you want to, get to know about us, feel free to ask those questions. As always, you can unmute your mic and talk directly to us, or you can type it in the chat box and we will answer those questions. So let's get started. Let's see what our first question. Our first question that is going to be, do you usually follow your heart or your head in making decisions? Do you usually follow your heart or your head?
I was gonna see if anybody else was gonna answer first. I'm gonna wait a second before I just give away my location, tell y'all all my business. But what y'all think?
No, don't do that, Miss H. You can go ahead and go answer.
He's so great. So I would say I definitely listen to my heart because my head has a limited awareness, a limited understanding. And I don't think we think about that a lot. I think we think our head has so many of these. What else would we trust? But my heart knows magic and my head knows logic. And some things in life I need magic for. So that's why I would say I listen to my heart.
I'm the opposite. I listen to my head. I am a very logical person when it comes to making decisions, and like feelings and things are involved. Like my feelings, they go somewhere. I don't even know what happens to my feelings, and I'm very logical. And so it's like all in my head. And then it's like after the situation, my feelings come back and was like, wait, you should have thought more about that with your heart, So I'm a head person first, headstrong for sure.
I'm not really sure how to answer this because I use both my head and my heart. First, I think about the situation, and then I think about the people around me as well. How would it affect them or something? So I'm not really sure. I say both.
I follow my heart because whenever it comes to making decisions, I kind of think about how I feel after that, like how my heart feel after I make that decision. Will it feel good or I don't know. When it comes to using my head, I feel like I don't make the right stuff.
I don't know if it's a bad thing, but I kind of don't think before I act. I kind of just go. And it doesn't even matter. My head be like, oh, don't do that. And my heart be like, don't do that. And I'll just be like, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go. I'm going to do it.
I think I resonate with that a little bit, TW. I think I resonate with that. Mm-hmm. All right, Soma, will you type in the next question we just did? Do you usually follow your heart or your head? Let's see. Surprise us with another question. What is the most frightening thing you have ever done?
I would say typical, like obviously we would all be frightened of it. I did waterfall jumping. I tried waterfall jumping, and the highest waterfall I jumped off of was 25 feet. And it was very much kind of like how TW talked about, like, actually, my heart said do it. My heart said do it. My head said definitely don't do it. Don't do it. Why would you do that? Why are you throwing yourself off a cliff? But my heart was like, you need to see that you're braver than what you're doing. So it was terrifying because when you're 25 feet up, when you're falling, you have time to think about falling. You have time to regret that you jumped, You have time to be like, why am I still falling? So that whole time I was terrified. But when I came up for air, I literally cried because I was so proud of myself. I cried because I was like, I did that. So that would be something I did.
Mine would be, I did a bungee jump back home, and that was it's I guess 160 meters. So that would be a lot, and that was one of the most frightening thing. And I'm very afraid of heights. So
Both of those things give me a little anxiety just thinking about them.
Mine. Oh, go TW. Go first.
You can go.
No, you're good. Go.
Okay. I don't really get scared when like I do like roller coasters or bungee jumping. Bungee jumping, like I've ziplined over a pool before and I was completely calm. But like I think the scariest thing I ever did was asking my girlfriend to be my girlfriend. I literally cried. I was terrified.
Right on.
It was whew, that was a day.
But I do notice that you said your girlfriend. So it did work out. She did say yes.
You did.
So, all right.
That is scary, TW. I think I like you. Like I resonate already so much with you. I feel that. I think my scariest thing that I did was move to another state by myself. And when I say like by myself, in 2016, I was like, I want a different job. And I was a preschool teacher, and I applied for this nonprofit job in Seattle, Washington. And I had never been to Washington ever before in my life. But I was like, this sounds good. This job sounds good. So I'm gonna go. And I had an interview with them in January of 2017, and 2 days later they were like, we want to hire you and the position starts next month. So I had like a matter of weeks to like pretty much get myself together to move to another state. I didn't know anyone there. I had never been there, and it was the first time me moving away, from family and friends and all the things. But I had like 3 suitcases full of things and was like, all right, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna do this. It was good though. It was a good decision. So scary but good.
Very scary.
I think the scariest thing for me was standing up for myself when I was being bullied. Because I stood up for myself in class because my teacher wasn't doing anything. And I was bullied in that class for like almost the entire year. And I decided to stand up for myself. He didn't do anything to me. Teacher didn't care. So I was like, well, I guess I should have done this before then, because he wasn't going to care anyways.
Right on, BZ. Right on, girl. Because let's be real about it. Sometimes teachers, as adults, are not attentive, and we can be real about that. Having been students ourselves and also being an adult now, I recognize when I need to become more involved, just because I remember how sucky it was being a student and looking around and being like, you're supposed to intervene and you're not. But at the end of the day, it's our responsibility to stand up for ourselves. And so while scary, I know you're glad you did it, because now you know you can do it, right?
Yeah.
Did standing up for yourself empower you to stand up for other people's if they were getting bullied?
Yeah, that's what empowered me to do that.
That's cool.
That's awesome. All right, let's see. What's our next question, Soma? Ooh, this is a good one. So the question in the chat box is, how would you change the world if you could?
I think I would help everyone be able to value themselves. I think I would be really excited to see what the world would look like if everybody, I'm not saying that you think you just the best thing ever, but that you value yourself and you know that you deserve good things. I think if everyone in the world valued themselves and knew they deserved good things, then this would be a much more interesting world for me to be a part of. So that's what I would do to change the world.
I'm gonna go like to like a different part of like subject here, but like I would change like how people view society as a whole, because I feel like people don't realize that people who have power are like, I'm not gonna to sound like rude here, but like white people and rich people. They're both that. They're both rich and white, and all they care about is themselves. Like Donald Trump, he doesn't care about the Mexicans. He doesn't care about the Dreamers, I think, and he doesn't care about any of that. And the Supreme Court is the same way. All they care about is their position as power. So I think I would change how people view that, because I think many people don't see that, or they do see it, but they don't do anything about it.
Yes. Sound like an activist waiting to happen.
To add on that, I think I would say something like greed. I would just want to remove greed from everyone, from all the human race, and I guess that should solve lots of our problems.
Oh, those are both real answers. All of the answers are real answers. Man, this is a hard question for me because I want to change so much in the world. I think one thing right now that's kind of sitting heavy on my heart is our justice system. I just watched the announcement of what was going to happen with Breonna Taylor, whether officers were going to be indicted for murder and things like that. And, I just wish we had a justice system that was actually just for all people in this country and not a specific group of people. So yeah, I would definitely change that.
Um, I think if I had to change anything in the world, I think I would change like the fear, like things like that. Like I would kind of change. Like I feel like I would try to make a difference so that never has to happen. Like nobody ever has to get that talk. Like the police should treat everybody the same, where I didn't have to get a different talk than the white person that's next to me.
I feel that. Could you start from the top though, TW? Because I missed the first part of what you said and I want to hear it.
Oh, like the fear. Like I would change like the fear of the police. Like I want to change like that feeling. I don't want anybody like ever to have it.
Yeah, that's real. Because like I had a coworker who talked about just the lights behind them when they were pulled over sent them into a panic attack, being a person of color, being a Black person. And so I think all of what y'all have spoken to, BZ, TW, and even Boss, wanting our justice system and wanting the people who are in charge to care about the well-being of everyone. And we're not necessarily just looking for equality, right? We're looking for equity, because we know that we're not all treated equally, but we need to create opportunities for those who have been not treated fairly for so long.
What am I doing? What color are we doing? I want to do this pink.
Okay, that was a deep question. That one, the answers or responses to that got pretty deep. So let's see, what's our next question? What's it gonna be? Surprise us. If you could set one rule for the family that all members must follow, what would it be?
Oh, wow.
I've got one.
Please.
I think that the rule, not now, but like when I was a kid, I think a rule that I would have set for my entire family was a rule for my parents, for them to be open to certain conversations that weren't had in my childhood just because of their religious beliefs, political beliefs. But I would set the rule that we could openly and how do I say this? Openly and like trust that we could bring up anything without repercussions.
Yeah.
I think there was a fear as a kid, like I'm gonna go tell that I did this, but I'm gonna get in trouble or whatever it was, and so like not having that fear behind that.
I like that. I was gonna say a rule that I would make up for my family now, and honestly, back in the day too, is you've probably heard me talk about like radical honesty. And I think it's only the fact that I recognize we have a hard time hearing the truth, especially when the truth isn't what we want to hear, because a lot of times we weren't given the truth when we were younger. We were given these sugar-coated answers that were supposed to pacify us at the time, but that leads us to more confusion when we're actually faced with the problem head on as you grow up. So I think when I was younger, I would have wanted to practice more radical honesty, and definitely in my adulthood in my family, it's like, even if it hurts my feelings, say it with respect, say it with love, but say your truth. Like, say what you need to say so I know where I stand with you instead of me having to overthink and wonder where I stand.
I feel like for my family. Oh, do you want to talk? You can go first if you want. Okay, I'll just keep going then. I feel like mine would be like keeping secrets. Because my family, I'm not trying to be like, I'm not sure what the word is, but like, I've heard so much Mexican families say that their families can't keep secrets. And I think that's true because I'm living in a Mexican family and they can't keep secrets. They just tell my aunt or my uncle or like their friend next door. And it's like, but that's a secret. I told you to keep it a secret. So I feel like keeping secrets in the family is what would really help the relationship, especially when the person like me tells them not to tell anyone because it's a secret.
Yeah, that makes sense. And honestly, like to piggyback off that, I find like families of color, it's a mixture, right? And please like chime in about this. I find that families of color don't keep secrets, but they don't want people to know their business. So it's like both of those. Like they don't keep the secret, but they don't want people to know their business because what happens in this house stays in this house. I don't know if you ever heard that when you were growing up. So it's like, don't tell the secrets, but tell the secrets. So it's crazy.
Right. Right. Definitely. What happens in this house stays in this house was a big one growing up. But then at the same time, it's like secret, or of course something that I would have wanted to stay within the walls of my house was like, coming out. Everybody in the family knew before I could tell them, when I came out to just one person in the family. So yeah, I definitely, it's like what happens here stays here, but then I'm a confide in everybody else in the family.
I feel like that was a parent thing. I feel like parents, what happens here stays here when they make a mistake. But when it's like the kid or a family member, it's like, oh no, I could tell your business. So that is a rule that I could see why y'all would have made that one.
I think for me, it would be like what Miss Ross said. honesty, no lying, doesn't matter how hurtful it might be, but just having the guts to say what you really want to. Like, I'm too honest, so at times my mom wouldn't even believe what I said, and she would still think that I was lying.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, I was telling the truth. So, and the other thing would be quality time. These are the two things I would want all the members to follow.
Have we heard from everybody? TW, did you have a rule that you would make for everybody in your family to have to follow?
I do not have to change my shorts just because men are walking into our house. If they are appropriate, if they are an appropriate length, like I'm like the booty shorts, yes, I'll take them off. But if I'm walking around in some basketball shorts in front of my family members, I should not have to worry about being sexualized. So I get to wear the shorts. Don't
Yes.
tell me to put jeans on or sweatpants. Like, it's just annoying because it's like, these are my family members. Why am I being sexualized by my family members, y'all? And then they're just like, go put the shorts on. Just, y'all don't see the problem with this? Y'all don't. Okay, okay, I'll let it go.
Talk about it, girls. Talk about it.
Yes, I think a rule that I would have changed in my family growing up um, was being able to question things.
Period.
I grew up in no other family, structures who are like, you don't question me or you don't ask why. It's just like, but I don't understand why I would know so much more if I can ask why or understand why, but it's like what I say goes and you don't question what I've said to do, So I would definitely change the ability to just know things and question things and not it being seen as a sign of disrespect, but just an inquisitive kid.
Yes. I second that.
Okay, I think we've all answered that one. Let's see, what does someone have for us next? When you were little, what did you want to be when you grow up, and do you still want it? Like, do you still want to be that same thing?
I wanted to be a vet. And I wanted to be a vet just because I kept seeing, and I don't know if the commercials still come on, like the SPCA commercials where the animals are like shivering in the cage and they're in a corner somewhere and that woman is singing in the arms of an angel. And I was just like, we cannot have all these sick animals, okay? So as a kid, I really just wanted to take the suffering away from cats and dogs. And then I grew up and I realized, dang, people are suffering too. So I transferred my desire to stop suffering from animals to people, but I still want the animals to stop suffering too.
When I was younger, I would watch anime. So
Right?
I would watch a lot of that. And it was the only thing that made me feel happy because I was diagnosed with depression at age 5. So I was really sad. Eating some like uplifting. So when I was younger, I was really inspired by the anime because it helped me. So ever since I was in elementary school, I guess, I wanted to be an animator. And that's what I'm still trying to pursue right now.
Nice. I love that.
I always said I wanted to be an artist, and that still kind of applies now, but I'm just leaning a bit towards game design, but I still like drawing and all that.
Both very creative fields and with good money. Talk about it. Good money comes from those fields too.
Right, and game design can definitely, is art. It is definitely art. When I was younger, I mean, I went through phases real fast of wanting to be a vet, a pediatrician, a marine biologist. But I knew that I wanted to be a teacher. And for a while, I mean, I was a teacher, I was a preschool teacher. And I think I eventually changed to not necessarily wanting to teach in a school at the capacity of like the typical teacher, but I still wanted to be an educator, and I feel like I'm still that. So followed my kid dreams to educate.
Kid dream.
Um, well, when I was a kid, I wanted to be an actress, and I still want to be an actress. But it was kind of more. I feel like when I was a kid, it was kind of more like trying to be the center of attention. Because I'm the youngest, so I was always used to getting attention, and I was like, oh, if I'm an actress, I can get attention, more attention. I can get attention from other people instead of my family. But now more of it's like I want to be an influence. Like I want people. I like want like younger kids to like look up to me. Even though a lot of younger kids look up to me, because I did public speaking for a while, so a lot of kids like look up to me, and they're like. Now I'm just trying to like branch that out in more of the acting position.
Absolutely. And I like that you talked about wanting attention. I feel like we shame people, especially women and kids, from wanting attention, but we all in some capacity want attention. Maybe not like crowds of people looking at us. I think you're built for that, TW. I do. I think you have a great presence. But some of us are maybe more introverted and we just want the people we care about to pay attention to us. So I like that you ask for what you want. I think that's going to lead you far.
Thank you.
What about you, Stephanie? What did you want to be when you were little, and did it turn out to be in adulthood?
No. I I I wanted to be a nurse always. Always knew I wanted to help people in some capacity and thought I wanted to be specifically, I like from a very young age wanted to work in like labor and delivery or like work with babies in some aspect or some way. But no, I think it helped shape me into the social worker I am. But nope, didn't become a nurse, but that's okay.
I like that. And that kind of ties into yesterday we were talking about how you have to be open to your plans changing or your goals changing as you get older, and that we don't talk to students enough about that. Like, yeah, you start off with a goal and you should strive to achieve that goal. But when you are introduced to something that sparks a light in you on your way to one goal, let's rearrange, let's make a new one so that we can actually get to where we're interested in being, you know? So
Okay, can we talk about that for like a little bit? Because I swear my family has like, because when I was little, I would be like, oh, my face is going to be on every billboard. But I kind of tried to shift it because everybody in my family was like, oh, that's not really like a suitable job for somebody that they were like, of your intelligence, that's not really a suitable job. Because like I can build computers, I can build robots, I can do all this stuff because I was interested in it for like 4 years. But then I kind of backtracked and was like, I still want to be this influencer and all of this. And my family was like, but the plan. And I'm like, but the plan changes.
does it does change. And so people don't, I don't think parents and adults like to hear that because they're afraid that if you just keep following different paths, you'll never pick one. But I think it's a lie that you have to pick one. I personally, and I'm speaking from my own opinion, I'm not disagreeing with what other folks have said, but I am saying that I think there are many paths to my best self, and that certain paths will be scenic and certain paths will be shortcuts. And maybe it will turn out that you are building robots in a film that you're acting in, and you knowing the history behind the electronics of it and the technology will help with how you perform in that role. And then people will be looking up to you because at some point they're going to want to know how you got into that position. And you can use all the different parts of the goals you've always had to fulfill that destiny. So I understand what your family's saying. They want you to have something to fall back on. And it sounds like your family's leading with their head. But we're also, like we talked about earlier, there's a balance between what the head knows and what the heart knows. And sometimes you got to listen to the heart too.
That's some good advice right there. All right, so let's see what we got next. What's our next question? Well, how are y'all doing on y'all's art? How's that coming along?
Nice. You look like you have planets, Steph.
Okay, I see you, Stephanie.
I like it.
So yes, they ended up looking a little like planets. Some of them were supposed to be donuts, but that failed, so it's fine. We're doing good.
We're on top. We're doing it.
We're doing great.
And then I think so with her question. What was the best gift you have ever received, and then or you have given to someone? So what is the best gift you've ever received, or what is the best gift you've ever given to someone?
Okay, I'm gonna start this. When I was younger, I found we were at the movie theaters with my parents, and I found this cool gemstone on the floor, and I used to carry it around everywhere, calling it my treasure. And one day I lost it, and I was really sad because I never found it. And then last year, for my birthday present, they gave me the rock again as a necklace. And they were like, you kept losing it, so we just made you think that you lost it forever. And we were going to give it to you when you got older. And then guess what? I lost it again. And then I found it again, and I'm like, okay, this time I'm never going to lose it. So that's one of the best presents I got because I thought I lost it forever.
That's deep. That's beautiful. So I'd say one of the best gifts I've ever, okay, so two of my all-time gifts. I bought my daddy a big screen TV. My father doesn't buy things for himself. He spends his money on other people, and it's a great trait, but he also deserves so much. And so earlier this year, with some of the income tax money I got, I had a little extra spending money. And so some of the big screen TVs were on sale, if y'all remember. And so I was able to get him a big one. Me and my brother went in on it together, and he was just so shocked. Like, isn't it, it's an interesting experience when someone who gives to everybody else gets given to, and to see them realize they deserve to receive. Like, that experience was just beautiful for me, and I want to give that to more people who are always given.
I think I've always been a giver, so I can't really remember the time when I received a gift. But again, part of me wants to appreciate what was given to me. But again, there isn't that special one. But I did volunteer after I was done with my middle school. I volunteered at the school I studied, and the principal gave me some money for volunteering. So I gave that money to my mother. So that was my first pay, actually. It wasn't much, but that was my first pay, and I gave her that. So I think that's the best one for me.
That's very sweet. Because, like, that's the thing. It don't got to be a lot, right? It don't got to be a lot that we give. But when we show people that, like, what I do have, you have now too, it's priceless.
Yeah. I haven't actually been earning money anyway, so.
It's like, so I'm going to give what I got. Yep.
Maybe $5 here.
Yep. I would have to say, anytime it can be an experience, like a trip or something like that, those are gifts that, like, give the gift of memories, right? And that even more is priceless than just being able to hand somebody something.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Agreed. Trips are my favorite gifts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, birthday, take a trip. You know, whatever celebrations, just take a trip.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually sent to 4 different countries.
Oh.
I think the best gift I've ever gotten is probably any of like the cards that my cousins make for me, because like in our family, like if you don't have any money, or you don't know what to get the person, you just write them like a handwritten card. And I feel like any of the ones my cousins or my younger cousin or my older cousins have ever given me are so cute.
Yeah, I like that. Something sweet about them DIY gifts. Though, if we're real about it, I have gotten a couple DIY gifts and I'm like, y'all didn't work on this. You just sat down and you threw this together so that I wouldn't feel bad that I ain't getting nothing, but y'all ain't work on this. Let's be real.
Yeah, my family is not a DIY gift type of person. Like, I just know that they will not appreciate that. So I don't even try. And it's different, like with like Christina's family. Christina's like, oh, we can make something and they'll love it. And then we can make it for your family too. And I'm like, no, my family would be like, what is this? Like, we can't, so different strokes for different folks.
True story.
Let's see if we can get one more question in before we close out for today. What do you think is your best quality?
I would say that I'm a chameleon, that I can fit in most places. Now, when I was younger and easily influenced, that wasn't always to my benefit. But as I've gotten older, it has been a great networking tool. It's gotten me jobs, and it's gotten me opportunities with people who might not have looked at me and thought they had something to talk to me about. But I can talk to anybody about anything. So I think that's one of my best qualities.
I really don't know what one of my best qualities are. I'm pretty honest, and some people say it's brutally honest, but I feel like sometimes people need that because they don't get it enough. And so I'm usually that person to be like, well, with the most love and respect, here is this honesty, and I think at first it might hurt people's feelings, but then they come to a realization that, I needed that. So I appreciate that within myself. I don't know if that's like my best quality, but it's a pretty good one to have, I think.
I agree. I do agree.
Yeah, agreed with that. Because some people just want to hear good things, and there aren't enough people saying them the actual truth. So sometimes they need to face the reality. Boom.
Drops mic. Yes.
I think for me, it's actively listening. I do listen to my friends. Like I said yesterday, since I've lost one of my friend, I've made it a point to listen to everybody and then tell what I feel about the issues or anything that's been shared. So maybe actively listening.
I think my best quality is my goofiness. Like I can be serious sometimes, but most of the time it's just like I feel like my goofiness and like my personality mixed in with the goofiness, I feel like is really good for when I'm like meeting people for the first time. I feel like it just kind of like opens people up, so now I can talk to you. Now I can talk to you about the serious stuff, but let me be funny first.
Yeah. I would say being someone that just met you today, that is exactly what happened. So it worked. Yeah.
Right. And I feel that about you also. Like, you seem like a person I was like, I can talk to her. She's cool. All right. Well, We've only got a few more minutes left of that, and I want to see some progress. I want to see, I know everybody isn't done with their art, and that's perfectly fine. Hopefully, you'll be encouraged to continue it. Also, if you finish your art and you love it, I'm sure we'll love it. Send us a picture so we can feature you and your art on our Instagram pages. We will type our Instagram into the chat box. Make sure you follow us, even if you're not going to send it. Make sure you follow us so that you can see other upcoming events that we have going on. But send it to us, send us a picture, DM us on there with your picture so we can share and feature you on our Instagram page. So if you feel comfortable enough, I would love to see your progress right now. If you want to turn your cameras on, show what you got going on. Stephanie, can I see what your planets have turned into now? Nice. It does look all solar, solar system like. I like it. I'm not done with mine, but I'm getting there. There's what I've got so far.
Nice. All right, so mine is, I'm a very abstract person already, so I barely did circles, but mine turned out like this. So I don't know what this is, y'all. I'm not even going to
Nice. I thought about putting some lines and things in there, but I was like, okay, TW, thanks for turning on your camera.
Okay. Now that looks like the piece we started with.
Yeah.
Like the example piece. Nice. Anybody else gonna show? Come on, BZ. Yes. Ooh, come on.
Yeah.
Yes. This is beautiful.
Okay, I see y'all little artists on here.
CW, what you got going? Oh wow.
I like it. Oh, you had your own. Okay. All right, I see you.
And I'm loving this setup. She's like, this is what I do. I sit here and I paint. Yes.
All right, thank y'all for sharing that with us. I'm super excited to see how it all turns out. We would love, like I said, for you to send a picture to us. Thank for joining us, TW. This is your first time, I think, but please keep coming back. I love your input. I love what you have to say, CWBZ. You've been here, but I appreciate your presence every time you're here. You know what? Just for the sake, I didn't even take a sip while we painted, but we're going to toast right now just for a good Wednesday, and we're going to take a sip. So,
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers to a good Wednesday. Come back tomorrow at 3:00. We'll be talking about advocacy. We'll be having some more deep conversation that you don't want to miss. Miss Stephanie, you are invited to attend, to come to that and have some conversation with us about that. So other than that, any other announcements? Oh, one more announcement. She Votes. We have She Votes. Miss H has just dropped that into the chat box. That's tomorrow at 6:00 from 6 to 7:15. There will be raffle prizes. There will be great youth voices that you want to hear, great women from the community speaking on the importance of voting, how to vote, where to register, where to vote, all the things that you'd like to hear, because this year is a great, it's a big, what am I looking for? Political year, voting year. We are maybe getting a new president, maybe sticking with the same president. I don't know, but come learn more about voting and the history and everything that has to do with voting tomorrow at 6:00 to 7:15. Don't miss out, okay? All right, well, y'all have a good rest of your Wednesday, and I will see y'all tomorrow at 3.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.